let's dive into a few words that are taken from English and sound the same in Arabic and being used and being written in Arabic. Hello, Radwa. So welcome to episode 2 of Vision Voices podcast that explores Arabic language linked to culture and tradition and how it emerges in the modern culture and the vibrant culture of Dubai and the Middle East in general. So, and we're jumping to another batch of words today. How are you?
I'm good.
So how would I say, how would I say how are you in Arabic? So that I could greet you in a modern way.
Okay. So it depends where you're coming from. So if you're coming from Egypt, you would say ازيك عاملة ايه?
ازيك عاملة ايه? ازيك عاملة
ايه?
Okay, I'll try to repeat that one. But yeah, anyway, so this is one of the ways. So how would they ask how are you in Dubai?
Here you would say أهلا كيف حالك?
كيف حالك? That's something that is very popular. Yeah.
In Saudi, حياك الله.
حياك الله.
Which is a very, very warm welcome. I really love it. It's just like, it translates just like Allah welcomes you.
So this is your personal preference. So if you were to ask, how are you? Let's say your colleagues, probably people you're welcoming. So what expression would you use and why?
So for me, is what I grew up using is just like in Egypt, how we say ازيك. Sometimes it's ايه الأخبار. It's like, what are the news? What's up? So this is what's most common.
That's interesting. So how about your kids? How would they say so?
Some of them, they don't even say hello. Some say hola, like they take some words from Spanish.
Yeah.
And others, even they stopped using what's up. They see it as an old word. Their language is evolving really rapidly, trending. The word trend is now commonly used in even Arabic as in trend.
So let's dive into a few words today that are covering, that actually that are taken from English and sound the same in Arabic and being used and being written in Arabic, but sound as English, right?
Yeah.
So let's explore a very modern word, influencer. For example, what is influencer being adopted into Arabic language and how?
100%. Now it has become something like a job. Like, what's this person doing? She is an influencer. He is an influencer.
How do you say it in Arabic?
The influencer. The influencer. So
for example, when you're describing someone who is doing an influencer job, how would you introduce that person in Arabic?
ده حد بيشتغل influencer. So someone who works as an influencer.
Okay, and how do you understand, so what kind of meaning is behind the word influencer in Arabic?
It's pretty much like how we're understanding it in English. Like influencer, mostly on social media, someone who has a large base of followers, someone who is promoting products, a vlogger or even a YouTuber could go under this. But mostly influencer is linked to TikTok or to Instagram, as in someone who is popular in one area of interest, being makeup, fashion, even business.
How about things like social media and podcasting, let's say?
Podcast is even an interesting word that is now common as podcast that's written in Arabic, podcast.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How about social media?
Social media as well. It has another Arabic term, as in the translation of social media, which is التواصل الاجتماعي. منصات التواصل الاجتماعي, which is the social media platforms. So it has been translated because also now social media is a strong driver and a platform for so many things. So even legally, it's not in legal documents or even in courts. It's being referred to as منصات التواصل الاجتماعي.
So is it because this is more of a trends that were born in English and it's very difficult to find an equivalent in Arabic language?
It's easier. Not necessarily that you cannot find an equivalent, but it's much easier to use it in its own form as in social media. So in, of course, the younger generation and most of even every user for social media, they refer to it as social media. I don't believe many people are they're referring to it as منصات التواصل الاجتماعي. Unless you are in a media announcement or news channel where you have to mention this as in منصات التواصل الاجتماعي.
It's interesting, but I asked, I think, ChatGPT about the most popular, Arabic words that are commonly sort of used in English, but are also how they are translated in Arabic. And influencer was one of them. The other one was fashion. So is fashion a special thing in Arabic?
Yeah. The word.
How is
fashion.
it pronounced? Yes.
So even the word moda, which is it's not an English word. I think it's Italian. Could be, which means fashion, something that is trendy. So fashion is used now also related mostly to the social media. But yeah, that's one of
But
the
does
words.
it also reflect the fact that probably Arabic culture has turned towards, the fashion industry and sort of attracting the talents, promoting the talents in the fashion industry, especially in the way the Arabic population in different countries addressed?
Yes.
Is it something that is changing culturally?
It's definitely changing culturally. And I believe one of the main reason is that people have easier access to fashion. Mm-hmm. Trends, understanding of the fashion, different options, which was not available before, like online fashion, buying the e-commerce, of course, the online stores. So that has pretty much brought fashion closer to the people, has created a space and room for people who are interested in bringing their fashion talent in fashion online, whether as producers of fashion or even as viewers rating fashion or influencers as well.
Another word that I'm curious about is the word video, as of video game.
Right, yeah.
So how is it in Arabic?
So video game is also one of the words that are being used, or as a term that are being used and translated into Arabic. We're going to a video game cafe. In the past, they used to call it cyber, which is as the place for arcade or for video games. I'll go one step back to fashion, because I recall also how people are using the word fashion and how it has evolved. A female who's into fashion and is very fashionable, they call it fashionista. So this is commonly used as in, someone who is trendy and into fashion. I call her, she's a fashionista. So,
say it in Arabic?
Yeah.
No, say it, the entire word.
Fashionista.
So she is a fashionista.
Di fashionista, which means that she's someone who is into fashion.
All right. Meaning she dresses up or she works as a fashion person?
No, she dresses up and she's trendy and she cares about fashion.
That's interesting. And that is an Arabic word, the fashionista.
It's not. It's used. It's
converted
yes,
from, yes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. But does it, is it a kind, nice meaning behind the fashionista?
Well,
a bit sarcastic.
It's in some meanings, it would mean that someone is a bit superficial. But of course, someone who cares about fashion. It's not a bad word in any way, but some people would take it as it's a bit superficial, someone who cares pretty much about fashion.
Okay, gotcha. Does that also mean that for Arabic culture, it's not typical to actually go and be bright, let's say shine, think about fashion? Is it also coming from the traditional sort of, I don't know, rules?
That's a great question, and it goes back to how we have evolved as Arabs and Muslims, and how fashion has impacted the way we approach different things. And I think it's not just for the Middle East, it's globally as well, in how people are approaching fashion. Maybe fashion was a bit exclusive to smaller or a small number of communities and people who are closer to fashion. But now it's more open because of the accessibility, the variety, the reach, even the awareness that is being raised of how people can dress themselves up and look better. You have now AI apps that would show you how to put your outfit together, what you're missing, and give you some guidance. So it's the evolution and the exposure to technology, but also how many cultures within the Middle East also have become more open to exploring different other options for their outfits.
Because I came across also an interesting expression, like one of the most, meaningful words for the Arabic language, and one of them was with the meaning of, keeping privacy. I think. Probably makes sense for us to refer to that. Keeping your privacy and keeping somebody else's privacy. And this is one of the values that the Arabic culture carries as the culture and as the tradition. I'm just trying to remember the word. Yeah, so the word al-sitr. Al-sitr, yeah. I think, yes. The word ties into Islamic and Arab traditions around preserving the dignity of others, especially when it comes to not exposing people's faults and sins. I mean, can you play around that meaning so we can link it to the word fashion and that it's changing? Or what does this word mean?
I don't think it's related to the word fashion, no. Because satr is a very deep meaning and word. It has a reference also to one of Allah's names. So it's a much deeper meaning. And even if you talk about satr, and if you are going to really try to keep someone's mistakes and flaws hidden because you want to make sure you're not exposing anyone's privacy. Yes, that's true in a way, but I don't think it has a linkage to fashion. To the fashion of being bright specifically, or visibility, or let's say popularity or fame or anything like that. No. Okay. That's great. So can we also cover 2 more words that are very, very popular in the area we live in, but maybe not everybody understands the origin. Right. So the first word is yani. Yani is a very common word. So is it Arabic? It's Arabic, Turkish, Hindi, maybe in other cultures and languages as well. But Hindi, they use yani, and it's part of their, I don't think it is driven from Arabic, and Turkish as well. They use yani. What does this mean? Where is it coming from? Why? So how does it add value to the phrase, and how it reflects the personalities, let's say? You can use it as a pause in, it's like, for example, when you're saying to someone or explaining something, and then you say yani, which means it means something as an example, that's when you add it to the word. So it has the same reference, I believe, in Turkish and Hindi, but it's very common. You pause and you try to explain further. So say يعني زي ما قلت لك, يعني you reference to something that you have said before, or you try to explain further an example.
Another word that I would like to cover is Habibi or Habibti, right? So very, very popular. And I mean, we often use it. It's being often used towards us to address, experts, not necessarily experts. So can you tell me about that?
So Habibi comes from Arabic, means my lover. And when you say Habibti, it's my beloved one, as in I can call my daughter Habibti, my sister, my mother. So that's very common, and we have been using it. It has come now, I think, more commonly through also social media, through marketing campaigns, through the very, very common slogan of Habibi, come to Dubai.
Yeah, that's
even people in the West and everywhere, they say, even they don't know what Habibi means, but they would say it. So yeah.
Are the young people using the word Habibi, Habibti? Are they making fun of it, or
they make fun of it sometimes?
Okay, right. But are they okay to be called Habibi, Habibti? Do they address each other like that?
Yeah. Well, for a younger generation, sometimes you would use it. And again, it goes back to how you are saying it, with an impact, or angry, or in a warm way. So if my daughters are talking to each other, the eldest would say to the youngest, just like, Habibti. And then she would just like try to be more firm with her. She's showing her that she's just like, hey, you, like with an attitude. So many of, and that's my experience, of course, younger generation are using it just like with an attitude. But we can use it also sometimes with strangers, like even men when they're meeting each other. It's just like, Habibi. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you mean that feeling that this person is a beloved one for you.
Is it a spoken language, or is it coming from an old tradition, maybe, I don't know, from religion, from poetry?
No, I don't think it's more culturally and trending and easier way of welcoming people, and a term of endearment, rather.
Interesting. So thank you very much for this take. That was another episode covering Arabic series, where Arabic language is not just a language, but rather a link to a tradition and personality. So if you like this video, please subscribe and give your comments below what words and traditions you would like us to discuss in these videos. Thank you very much.